World War II.
Aboriginal Canadians have made important contributions to Canadians' military history. As part of Remembrance, it is important that we acknowledge the experiences of Aboriginal peoples who served the country despite not having the full rights of citizens.
During the First World War, more than 4,000 Indigenous people served. In some areas of the country, 1 in 3 able-bodied men volunteered, and some communities saw every man between the ages of 20 and 35 enlist. Because hunting was an important cornerstone of their daily lives, many Aboriginal soldiers were successful snipers during the conflict.
During World War II, over 3,000 First Nations and unknown members of the Métis, Inuit, and other recruits served in the military. One unique role filled by Aboriginal soldiers during the war was being a code talker. Sensitive messages were translated into Indigenous languages such as Cree, so they could not be intercepted and understood by the other side.
Indigenous soldiers also served in the Korean War and have continued to serve in the post-war years.
In all, it is estimated that as many as 12,000 First Nations, Métis, and Inuit served in the conflicts of the 20th century, with at least 500 losing their lives.
Aboriginal Veterans Day is officially recognized every year on November 8th, as well as a way to honor veterans of Canada's Indigenous communities.
Here are the names of the Squamish First Nation veterans. Juanita Almanzan, Felix Almanzan Jr., Thomas N. Almoela, Edward Harry Ange, Oliver Ange, Joe Anton, John Anton Sr., Johnny Anton Jr., Willie Kelly Anton, Rudy Baker, Charles Chuck Billy, Arnold Brose,
Marcel Brose, Derek Kaling, Daniel Cheer, Thomas Cole, Tom Robert, George Cole, Pascal Cortez, James Daniels, Reginald Dominic, John Downer, Buzz Downer, Henry Downer, Peter Nahaney Garcia,
Domingo Gonzalez, Harvey Gonzalez, Beverly Guerin, Larry Jack, Edward James, Jimmy E. Johnson, Nadine Joseph, Roman Joseph, Jack Kelly, Patty Kelly, William Kelly, Norman Lewis,
Sampson A. Lewis, Henry Ferguson Lopez, Achille Mack, James Miranda, Milton Miranda, Donald Moody, Joseph M. Moody, David Wright Nahaney, Edward Nahaney, James P. Nahaney, Robert Nahaney, Andrew Nutrell.
Albert Newman, Carol Newman, Charles Newman, George Newman, William Patt, Robert Paul, Isabel Garcia Phillips, Peter C. Rivers, Jamie Thomas, Lauren Thomas, Pat Willard, William R. Thomas,
Thomas Williams, Walter Williams, Stephen A. Wright.
Squamish veterans.
Donald McDonald, George Patty, Charles Edward Barnfield, Kenneth Allen Buckley, Daniel Cheer, John Anthony Dalton, Thomas Francis Galbraith, Robert William Grace, John Henry LaBelle, Gordon Clinton McClelland, Norman Mackenzie.
William Arthur Madeley, Frank Thorburn Manners, George Bernard Martin, Gordon Charles Moyer, Patrick James Mullern, Keith Nicholson, George Wallace Polton, John Askey Quick, Lloyd Norwood Sarles, Joseph Martin Seymour, Harold Charles Edwards,